Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate Santana. If you are new here, I'm a wife and a mom of 2-year-old Olivia Joy, and I am 27 weeks pregnant with baby Eden Elizabeth. Today I'm going to talk to you about how I am registering for items for Eden, and obviously I'm a second-time mom, so there are some items that I have. Also, I'm having the same gender as my first child, so a lot of repeat items as far as clothes go and blankets and things like that. But there are some things that I need, and I'm also going to be talking to you about items that I already have but that I would suggest as a first-time mom registering for. I think that they are super essential, and I'm definitely going to reuse them again with Eden. Now, I'm going to be looking at this through a Montessori-ish lens. For the most part, I follow Montessori when it comes to interacting with my newborns, and to be honest, I didn't even realize that it was Montessori when I first started doing it with Olivia. So a lot of the things that I did with Olivia when she was younger turns out are Montessori. I didn't really learn about Montessori until she was 1, but a lot of the things are the same. There are a few things that I'm not going to do. The biggest one that jumps out to me is using a floor bed. We are going to continue to use a crib because Olivia loves her crib and does really well in it. Montessori, if you're familiar, definitely thinks that your child should actually be in a floor bed, but we're not going to do that. Other than that, we are following Montessori pretty much to a T when it comes to the newborn stage. So I'm gonna jump in and get started. I also asked you guys a bunch of questions on Instagrams. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go head over to Sweet Home Santana. I'm honestly off and on there. I try not to be on too much because it really sucks up too much of my time, but I am on at least on the weekends. So go ahead and jump over there and follow me there so I can connect with you. Of course, I'd love to connect with you here too, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, and comment to introduce yourself if you are a new follower. Okay, so let's get started. One of the first things that I thought about in the registry, and I'm sure a lot of new moms think about, is sleep. Now, I just told you we're not going to do a floor bed. We are going to do a bassinet to start. So I asked you guys on Instagram if you use a bassinet, and 77% of you said that you did. So we're going to have a bassinet next to the bed. Maybe the other 23% you co-slept, or maybe you put them right in their crib. I'm not really sure. But we are going to have a bassinet that is right next to my bed for at least the first month. Olivia actually moved into her bedroom at 1 month old. So we might do something similar with Eden. I'm thinking she probably won't be in there for like a year, but a month or 2. She will be in a bassinet. One of the ways that Montessori is really different than the majority of parenting strategies or theories out there is the fact that they really encourage freedom of movement and discovery of the baby's body. And so they do not swaddle, and they do not cover the baby's hands for any reason. So I asked you guys, let me just look at my phone here. How many of you swaddled? 81% of you said that you swaddled, 19% said that they didn't. So swaddling is very common. We swaddled Olivia for maybe just like a few days, and then we decided not to anymore. We're not gonna swaddle Eden probably at all, maybe like a day or 2 at most, but Montessori believes that a child should be free to move and should be free to explore their body, so no swaddling. The second thing is no covering their hands. If you have seen any of my other videos or done any research on Montessori, Montessori believes there is a huge connection between hands and brains. And the more you allow your child to discover what their hands can do, the faster their brain development. So we do not cover baby's hands. So 57% of you said that you did cover your baby's hands with the little like glove type things, and 43% said you did not. So it's more common to cover their hands, but it's almost split down the middle. We are going to use a sleep sack. I actually don't need to register for any sleep sacks because I have so many from Olivia, but registering for sleep sacks is a great idea, and I will link some down below. There's something called the Taponcino, which I'm going to put on my registry as well. It is a Montessori, basically like a pad that they can sleep on, that you can hold them in, that they can play on. It's just this comforting, warm, cozy sleep / play pad for a newborn. So definitely go ahead and check that out. Okay, obviously other essentials for sleep are, since we're not gonna have a floor bed, we're doing a crib. I will link the crib down below. It's the same one we used with Olivia. The material that it uses is breathable, so that if she's on her stomach and like ends up face down for whatever reason, she would actually be able to breathe through the mattress. I definitely want to get sheets. We already have a crib. We're using my nephew's crib. So I'm very much into secondhand and like thrifting and stuff like that. So do what you can, but I will link the crib that we are going to use down below as well, because we did need to get that with Olivia. Okay, so when the baby is awake, here's another Montessori thing that's a little bit different. Montessori does not believe in any baby containers or baby holders. So no swings, no mama-roos, no bouncers, no like seats of any kind. I don't even know what they're all called because I really didn't get any with Olivia either. No saucer things when they get a little bit older. Baby is basically getting floor time or being held or wrapped up close to your body. So those are the two places where baby would be if baby is awake. So Eden will either be in a wrap with me walking around when I'm getting stuff done, or she will be on the floor on a nice either blanket, quilt, or play mat. So we do have a Love Every play mat, which we got with Olivia, and I highly recommend it. I will link it again down below. It is very soft and engaging without being overstimulating. So that will be a spot that Eden can play and can explore. We also really love the IKEA play gym, so I will link that down below as well. Olivia loved it when she was younger, and I highly suggest it. So there's not too much to get in this awake category because, again, we're not with Montessori getting any sort of baby holders or baby containers, but babies do like black and white contrast cards, and they do like mobiles. Montessori suggests both of those things. So one thing that we are going to do is we are going to subscribe to Love Every's play kits. Again, I have done a bunch of videos on Love Every play kit reviews, starting a little bit older though, because we didn't get them super young with Olivia, but we are going to get them with Eden. So you'll find that it's very appropriate Montessori aligned toys for that specific age range. In fact, the first kit is just for 0 to 12 weeks. So it's very specific. What does your baby need in those first 12 weeks? It includes a mobile, some high contrast black and white cards, etc. So we're definitely going to be using that and exposing Eden to those things when she is awake and able to look at something. That is what she's going to be looking at. So in her room, what are we going to have? So baskets. I've actually thrifted almost all of the baskets that are not being reused from Olivia, so I highly suggest thrifting, but I will also link some down below that we bought for Olivia. Baskets I'm going to use for blankets, for stuffed animals, and for laundry. Hangers, obviously you need hangers for the closet, so that's a good thing to put on your registry. A sound machine is a must for us. We used the Hatch sound machine with Olivia, so we're going to buy another one for Eden's room as well. We definitely liked it. It comes with a lot of options for sounds, for the volume, and for colors. We're going to get another video monitor. I will link the one down below that we have with Olivia. I like it because it tells me the temperature of the room. So the two most important things are like the temperature of the room for me, and then just being able to like have the camera swivel so we can, and zoom so we can see her. And then also a mirror for her room that we can like lay on the floor when she's not mobile enough yet to like get to it and knock it over. Babies actually really like to look in the mirror, so we're going to make sure we have that. Back to sleep for a second, something I forgot to say is an Owlette. Now, 80% of you did not use an Owlette. When I asked you on Instagram, about 20% did. We did not use one until until Olivia was 10 weeks old. And honestly, it changed my life. If you're not sure what an Owlette is, it goes on the baby's foot and then you put a sock over it, and it basically tells you their oxygen level and their pulse. I always thought that this was like crazy, and I was like, who would ever do that? Like, I literally thought I was psycho before I had my first kid, and then I found myself laying awake at night staring at the monitor or checking her back to see if she was breathing, and it was honestly exhausting and really tiring, and I felt like I was attached to the monitor when she was asleep. So this Owlette gave me so much freedom back. So that's really something for me that we're going to use from day one, because I feel like it gives me the freedom to like, maybe I'll check the app more frequently, but I won't have to be like staring at the monitor worried whether or not her heart is still beating. So I'm definitely going to get an Owlette. I will link that down below as well. I believe we got ours refurbished and it worked just fine because they are expensive. Okay, so last thing is actually just bathing. Oh no, I have more. That's not the last thing. Bathing. So I will link the tub that I'm going to get down below. It's a little bit different than what we did with Olivia. I didn't love any of the solutions of what we did with Olivia. We did end up getting a flower bath at one point that you could put in the sink, which was nice, but now our sink is actually divided into two, and the flower bath is not going to work. We don't have a big enough sink for it, so it's like back to square one. But I found a tub that I I really like, so I'm gonna link it down below. Get a few washcloths, a baby towel, and then get some things for the medicine cabinet. I like to be as organic as possible with everything. I know it's crazy, but I don't know. I buy like organic onesies, organic towels, organic washcloths, etc. It's just, it gives me peace of mind to know that the material that is on her is free from pesticides and things like that. For the medicine cabinet, I would stay away from Tylenol or any other medicine that has food dye in it. A lot of them have food dye. Do not give your babies medicine with food dye. So we use Little Remedies. Little Remedies is the same as Tylenol, but does not have food dye. So definitely stock up on that. I remember the first time Olivia had a fever, we went to like 3 different stores in the middle of the night because we couldn't find one without food dye. So stock up on that ahead of time. So when it comes to feeding, I am planning to nurse. So the things that I am going to need, I already have a nursing pillow and a nursing chair. I don't think a nursing pillow is 100% necessary, but a lot of moms do like it. So you could either borrow one from someone or see if you want one, or you could just get one and be ready. I also got a handheld pump. I ended up needing that because sometimes I just needed to pump a little bit and didn't want to pump with like the full machine. I am getting a free pump through insurance, so definitely check out and call your insurance. If you are pregnant right now, you should be eligible for a free pump. I will link down below which one I got, but it's one that's battery chargeable in case I want to pump in the car on the way to work or in the car anywhere. I know that sounds weird to be like pumping in the car, but you could pump under like a really thick sweatshirt. To go along with that, I've got milk storage bags on my registry. I did not do a good job storing my milk with Olivia in the beginning. I would pump and literally just leave it in the fridge and be like, oh my God, has it been 48 hours or whatever? And then I would dump it. Guys, it's so sad because I ended up having to supplement with Olivia at around 7 months. So I'm gonna do a much better job pumping, God willing, with Eden and build up my freezer supply. And then I also got the Haka. I'm sure you've heard of it if this is not your first video that you are watching. The Haka is just this like silicone, it is called a handheld pump, but you don't really pump it. You just kind of attach it to the side that the baby is not nursing on, and it catches what would be coming out anyway, probably leaking while you're nursing. And so it's something that I can just switch sides and collect a little bit of milk every time that the baby nurses, so I don't have to pick like an additional time to pump. And then I also really needed gel pads with Olivia. The first few weeks my nipples were very sore, cracked, bleeding, sorry for the TMI, but I definitely needed gel pads. They were so comfortable to just cover up my nipples and make sure that in between nursing they were nice and cooled off. So I will link those down below as well. I think that pretty much covers it. So just so you know, I registered with Amazon and they actually sent me a free gift bag. So once you register with Amazon, as long as someone spends $10 off of your registry, they will send you a free gift, which is awesome. It had 2 bottles in it. It had a bunch of samples. It had a swaddling blanket. I definitely think it's something that's like really a cool bonus for registering at Amazon. I registered on Amazon last time too, so it's just what I felt comfortable with. I know there are lots of other ways to register. If you want to start a registry with Amazon and get your free gift too, I will leave a link down below to where you can start your Amazon registry. It's never too early to start. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. What do you have on your registry or do you not have on your registry that is similar or different to mine? I hope that you guys are doing well. Definitely can't wait to hear from you in the comments. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. I am so close to 1,000 subscribers, guys, which is like this huge goal for me. So if you can please subscribe, I would really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well and I will see you next week. Bye, guys.